Hello, everyone. I want to talk today about something that gets misunderstood constantly, what people call victim mentality. And I'm not here to tell you it's good or bad. I'm here to tell you a different story about what it actually is. Because in my years working with people navigating family stress, emotional neglect, and complicated relationships, I've noticed something. What we label as playing the victim is almost never what we think it is. More often, it's a survival strategy that worked brilliantly once and then stayed way too long. Like a house guest who helped you through a crisis and then just never left. So today I want to share a real story someone sent me, not to diagnose or judge it, but to gently reframe it and maybe, just maybe, help you see your own story differently too. A woman wrote to me recently and her words stayed with me. She grew up in a family where she had responsibility, but almost no emotional space. After marriage, she moved in with her mother-in-law, and the household hierarchy was crystal clear. She was at the bottom. She described daily life like this. Even meals feel like instructions, not connection. Questions aren't questions, they're commands in disguise. I learned to stay quiet, agree, and endure. But here's what hurt most. Her husband never stood beside her. Not emotionally. Not once. And over time, something inside her shifted. She stopped fighting back, stopped expressing needs, stopped expecting things to change. She survived by becoming agreeable. Years passed, and then she noticed something that terrified her. My children are starting to live the way I did. Quiet, compliant, emotionally distant. I'm scared they'll inherit my life, not just my genes. Her question wasn't angry. It was exhausted. How do I stop seeing everything that happened to me as damage? How do I change this before my kids become just like me? Before we go any further, I need to say this clearly. Her pain is real. She didn't imagine it. She wasn't too sensitive. She wasn't weak. She lived for years without emotional safety. And when you don't have a safe place to land emotionally, your nervous system adapts. It has to. Compliance becomes protection. Silence becomes survival. Endurance becomes your identity. So let me be very clear about this. Feeling like a victim does not mean you chose weakness. It usually means you chose survival when there were no better options available. That's not a character flaw. That's your brain doing exactly what brains do when they're under threat. They find a way to keep you alive. And for a while it worked. Now here's where we start to shift perspective, gently, not harshly. Instead of asking yourself, why am I stuck in a victim mindset? Try asking, what was this mindset protecting me from? Because here's what this woman's sense of being wronged actually did for her. It preserved the truth that what happened wasn't okay. It prevented her from completely blaming herself. It kept a small inner voice alive that whispered, I deserved better. That's not pathology. That's adaptation. That's intelligence, actually. But, and here's the compassionate truth we need to hold. A strategy that saves you in one chapter can imprison you in the next. What once protected her was now shaping how she saw everything. Every comment from her husband, every interaction at family dinners, every silence. The lens that helped her survive was now the only lens she had, and that's when survival becomes suffering. Here's a really important distinction, and I want to say this carefully, because it can sound like I'm excusing harm. I'm not. We're not saying nothing bad happened. We're saying not everything that hurt you was designed to destroy you. Her mother-in-law acted from rigid beliefs and her own unexamined patterns. Her husband avoided conflict the only way he knew how, by emotionally checking out. Their actions caused real harm, no question. But reframing asks us to do something hard, separate impact from intent. Why does this matter? Because as long as we believe they were actively trying to ruin my life, our nervous system stays locked in threat mode. But when we can say, they acted from their limitations, not my lack of worth, something shifts. We stop being the effect of their choices and start becoming the author of our own. That's not forgiveness. That's not excusing. That's freedom. This is the most important reframe I want to offer, so stay with me. Responsibility is not about blaming yourself for what happened. It's about reclaiming authorship of what happens next. This woman didn't fail her children. The very fact that she noticed the pattern means she's already interrupting it. Her job now isn't to erase the past or pretend it didn't hurt. Her job is to stop letting the past be the only lens through which she sees the present. And that begins with a new sentence. I was hurt and now I get to choose differently. Not perfectly. Not overnight. Not without slipping back sometimes. But consciously. Here's a practice I often share with people in similar situations. When the thought arises, I'm being harmed again, pause and ask yourself, 1. Is this actually happening right now, or does it just remind me of before? 2. What choice do I have in this moment, even a tiny one? 3. What would it look like to model emotional agency for my kids just in this one interaction? This isn't about denying your experience. It's about integrating it, honoring the wound without letting it script every scene of your future. Now, I want to say something really important before we close. This message, this whole reframe is for you if it resonates. It's not a tool to use on someone else. If you try to tell someone, hey, you're just stuck in victim mentality, you'll probably do more harm than good. That's not support. That's dismissal dressed up as insight. People need to arrive at these reframes themselves, in their own time, with their own readiness. So if this helped you today, take it for yourself. Use it gently. And please don't weaponize it against someone else who's still in survival mode. They're doing the best they can, just like you were. If you saw yourself in this story today, I want you to know something. You're not broken. You adapted. You survived. And that took real strength. And now, whenever you're ready, you're allowed to grow beyond the adaptation. Healing doesn't mean pretending nothing hurt. It means refusing to let the hurt make every decision for the rest of your life. One more thing. Everything I've shared today is based on my personal observations and experiences. It's not a substitute for professional therapy or mental health treatment. If you're struggling, please reach out to a qualified professional in your area. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.